The best in the world is champion again for a 7th time.
Uso made a critical mistake. Go to sleep, my Punk. Punk with another GTS into the cover.
CM Punk defeated Jey Uso, and I can't help but be overjoyed.
Strap him up. Look at that, dude.
As someone that grew up like many others idolizing CM Punk, I started watching not long before the pipe bomb, so this in many ways is surreal. Having seen this man go through so many ups and downs in his journey over the last few years and his entire career, you truly love to see it. This marks the first time that CM Punk has been world champion for longer than 5 minutes since 2013.
And now CM Punk is a 7-time world champion. Congratulations to the new world heavyweight champion.
But I'm just so shocked that Jey Uso lost this match, considering supportive crowd signs like "Pickle You Suck," hashtag Yeet. And maybe my favorite on this edition of Crowd Watch, "Oh brother, this guy stinks." AJ Lee would also share on her Instagram story as she was watching on Proud alongside Larry. It's also history making because right now we have multiple former AEW stars as champions in WWE. Ethan Page, Cody Rhodes, Blake Monroe, Ricky Saints, CM Punk, and Jade Cargill, who became the new women's world champion too.
Mindset. And comes a little unglued for Tiffany Stratton. My God!
Where she wants her again!
Absolutely!
To which I say, thank God. Because if they would have had Jade lose again, it would have been ridiculous. Especially given the knee injury of Tiffany Stratton that she was selling in this match.
It's her time! There it is! Jaded by Cargill! Cover! Jade Cargill wins the championship!
Towards the end of this one, Jade was doling out powerbomb after powerbomb after powerbomb. She was completely dominant. I look forward to seeing how her reign pans out as a heel now on SmackDown. I think already the turn has given her a dimension of edge, which I really like. She's more confident, intense, and serious. In terms of Tiffany Stratton, let's reset those stats. Let's go back to level 1, okay? Forget your ACR. We need to change her character beats. We need to let her add more personality into these promos. In ring, she's all good, but the character needs to be less one-dimensional. Even before this championship match where Nick Aldis was checking in on Tiffany Stratton,
I know you're just doing your job, but I'm ready for this. I'm the champion, and I want to defend my title tonight, and I'm ready for this fight.
In that small amount of words she said before she went out, where she was simply just saying, yes, I can compete, it all sounded like it was generated by AI. But shout out to Jade Cargill. It was great to see the perspective of her family at ringside watching on too. But going back to Ethan Page, him and Chelsea Green would win more gold in Treble A.
Chelsea Green! The All-Eagle! Ethan Page!
I love both of these stars, and I'm happy that Chelsea Green is holding gold again. This show also featured Cody Rhodes retaining the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre.
Cody Rhodes now, and a DDT onto the title by Rhodes with a crossroads to McIntyre. Cody survives.
The main takeaways from this match are that 1, Drew McIntyre lost again. Womp womp. Second of all, towards the end, Rhodes again was leaning into more heel tactics. To be fair, Drew brought the title into the ring, but Rhodes used it with a DDT to McIntyre. And then he hit it from the referee, and like, if this is your top babyface that's supposed to be Cena adjacent, you surely wouldn't do this. So it makes me think these evil little beats in Rhodes' character are building to something slowly but surely. Or maybe another theory I have is that this is just the modern day babyface now. Someone who is just smarter and outsmarts the heels at their own game. It would make sense considering how they lean less into insulting viewer intelligence nowadays. Just in terms of WWE Unreal on Netflix, for example, they're aware that we are more aware than ever before when it comes to wrestling tropes and characters. But I want to know from all of you, where does Drew McIntyre go next after all of this?
Dominic with the steel chair, tosses it to Rusev. And the official's like, Dom, what are you trying to do? There's no disqualification. It doesn't matter. I don't care if I caught Rusev red-handed. Rusev can use the chair.
This show also had Dominic Mysterio retain his Intercontinental Championship, but that Dirty Dom is so freaking funny, man. And that Penta is so damn good too.
Sword scratch. From yeah was Penta.
Oh, Mexican Destroyer to Mysterio.
Penta is back. And there's nothing.
Dom is currently the superstar with the most title defenses in 2025.
It's there. We've got a new Intercontinental Champion. Well, Rusev thinks he's got. Oh, God.
Oh, give me a break. That's not Berkeley.
Which is a shocking statistic, not because Dom isn't incredible at what he does, but because they spent most of the middle of 2025 not having him defend it at all.
Dom's in big
Oh, no! And now, Dirty Dom with a frog splash. The cover. Dirty Dom steals it again.
Additionally, it was made official that John Cena will be retiring at December's SNME.
Physical activity, 100%, and I very rarely speak in absolutes because you never know. I do know in this case. Never again, because I don't want to let the people that I made a promise to down.
Cena wants someone to step up and seize the same opportunity he was given on his first day. In Boston, Massachusetts, a 16-man tournament across Raw, SmackDown, and maybe some outside of WWE will compete to face him in his last match. Cena says any appearances he makes in WWE in the future wouldn't have any physical activity.
And to the winner, I say for one final time, you want some? Go get some!
Obviously, you go ahead, you hear outside WWE and you think you know me. Did they actually pull it off? Is Edge coming back for this match? Personally, I'd love it, but I think it's still going to be Gunther more than likely. We even had Bayley throwing her hat in the ring for this match. Which, side note, but speaking of Bayley, I love the continued dynamic between her and Michael Cole.
Taking a picture of me.
It's a video.
Okay, why are you taking a video of me?
Why is this such a problem? I thought we were best friends now.
What we should explain to the world is that you actually really do like me.
Okay, you're out of
that
control.
you text me all the time.
This is out of control.
That you give me hugs in the back.
Clearly lying.
Other names shown in the initial teaser for the tournament feature the likes of The Miz, Rusev, Solo Sikoa, Sheamus, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Penta, Carmelo Hayes, Bronson Reed, Gunther, and Dominic Mysterio. But we also found out that the SNME after John Cena's last match will be in Montreal, Canada in the new year. Then, Seth Rollins confirmed on Good Morning Football that he will be out of action for at least the next 6 months.
Rollins is that still nobody believes you're hurt. Everyone thinks this is another work. We don't buy it for a second, Rollins.
I could rip this thing off, man, but I'm out, guys. I'm out, Ags. It's for 6 months.
No.
My world championship's gonna be worn by some schmuck, either Jey Uso or CM Punk. It's awful. It really is the Halloween scaries, guys, but I'm here, man.
Which, again, I say all the best, Seth Rollins, get well soon. If you aren't lying again, I'll see you at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, you son of a bitch. Then, we have a preview for Monday Night Raw. So far announced, we've got the new World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk appearing. Dragon Lee and AJ Styles will defend their tag championships against Finn Balor and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day will face off against Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella. Penta will take on El Grande Americano. And Bayley and Lyra Valkyria will face the Kabuki Warriors. Honestly, it sounds like it is going to be a pretty solid show as the Punk World Champion era begins again. Then, going back to Ricky Saints, he was on Busted Open Radio where he spoke about a potential future match with Cody Rhodes.
I could see that being a great matchup too. I think the last time we wrestled was my debut for AEW actually. Or no, there was a tag match after that, but singles wise, yeah, that was it. There's so much, I feel like there's so much to it because when you add a real life friendship to things and you actually have evidence of history of how things have gone, I feel like the story is within itself. And I'm sure within time we'll get to that point. But it's always funny to hear that like that's one of people's like dream matches, which hey, I'm with it 1,000%, obviously.
Let me go ahead and tell you something, Vic. I wanna see it. Then, I don't usually talk about AEW Collision on the show, but I think I need to this week because Bandido has quickly risen to one of my favorites of 2025.
The
frequently a mouth agape when this man wrestles. He is brilliant.
Up top.
He defeated Mascara Dorada to retain the ROH World Championship.
Boys, here he goes, playing the 21 punch for the second time. He's got it. Folded him up. 1, 2, 3.
Just sensational stuff from Bandido, and I can feel them getting ready to pull the trigger on him being AEW World Champion sooner rather than later. Then Chelsea Green was on Gabby AF, where she recalled meeting Maxinne DuPRI, emphasizing to Maxinne that wrestling doesn't have to be everything in your life.
I actually met Maxinne when I believe she was still in NXT, but she might have just been called up and been paired with LA Knight. And I didn't have a job yet. I was still at TNA, and we went for a girls' night, and I thought she was just like such a good person. She was so down to earth, and not that I felt like I wanted to take her under my wing at all, but I think that's naturally what happens when you become friends with someone in this industry, and one person has so much more, just like, I have so many more years in wrestling than she does. So naturally, she's going to have questions for me, or I'm going to have advice for her, or, we're going to get into situations where I might give her my 2 cents. I always want to remind all of my friends, but especially someone that was so new in the business, this isn't everything. I know it feels like everything, and the weight of this world comes crashing down on you at times. You have a bad match, or the internet doesn't like you, or, you flub your line. It's not that serious. We're just play fighting in our underwear. And you need to just put the phone away, go to bed, do things for yourself, have a hobby, or hang out with, your fiance or whatever makes you happy. Do things outside of this so that it doesn't feel so heavy.
I love both of these superstars, and I think both of them could and should be doing more on TV. Maxinne DuPRI is so likable, and you want to root for her every time you see her wrestle. And the same goes for Chelsea Green. Even though she's a heel, her character work is terrific, and I want her to be a world champion one day. Bianca Belair has been out for what feels like years, and sadly there is still no return date for her. While it seemed like it was just a finger injury initially, this is what her finger looked like not so long ago. She broke it in 3 places as well as the joint, and she can't bend it at all. So it goes without saying, but she can't perform safely in this condition, or else she'll suffer further damage that extends to her nerves in the finger. Then it's been a while since we saw Kevin Owens as well, but he was with one Chris Jericho at the Tampa Bay Lightning versus Dallas Stars game last week. Really just adding fuel to the fire that Chris Jericho will return to WWE in early 2026. And speaking of crossovers, Bayley shared a photo with AEW Women's World Champion Chris Statlander recently. Look, I know this sounds so unrealistic, it sounds like such a long shot, it sounds like I'm coping, but I do firmly believe that the next big what if in professional wrestling that will happen is a crossover show or a crossover pay-per-view between AEW and WWE. Reality of Wrestling announced that Sherilyn Guerrero, daughter of the late great Eddie Guerrero, is beginning her professional wrestling journey. In 5 years, when Sherilyn Guerrero hits Dominic with the "he was actually my father," it's gonna be cold. Anyway, I'm on the road to 250,000 subscribers, so subscribe and tell a friend about this channel. Bye!